So what is Sankyo? Sankyo is third teaching, third control. And there's a family of movements that use Sankyo. They all have in common the Sankyo grip. So that's what we're going to start with, Sankyo exercise. Look at the standard way we do Sankyo in Seidokan Aikido, and then explore variations, because one way will never work all the time for all situations. So it's good to have a variety of ways to execute Sankyo. But the important thing is that you don't, all Sankyo should have in common that you're holding lightly and you're sending the ki through to the shoulder. So if you find yourself squeezing and putting a lot of torque in the wrist, that's not. And the way we do Sankyo Undo is that we shift from our one point, twist our thumb away from us and out in that direction. So there is torque going on, but it's moving that thumb that way, and the elbow is staying bent. Now I take over for him. And one reason we ought to do this from our center is if I try to move from my shoulder, it's almost impossible. So if I just think, I don't have to really, this is just moving with me. Now don't go anywhere. And you see that, as soon as he starts to go somewhere, the lowering will work. So I want you to get your partner. You can have his hand here, you could have no hand, right? The thing is, notice also, if I try to push forward like this, this is difficult because there's a circle. If his palm is down, it's difficult. I want to move the thumb in this direction as I adjust. It starts to move. I lower, lower. Some people think of Sankyo as a sword cut. It is, but it's not a sword cut like this. You do not want him ahead of you. Then he can turn around and hit you and do all sorts of bad things. You want to be ahead of him. And notice the thumb being this way means that the sword is cutting, he shoulders the sword, it's cutting down behind him, as if the sword were like this. That's the kind of cut it's doing, is this, not this. So shall we try that with our partner? Start just from the Sankyo exercise. Okay, so now that's good. So, here he is again, and this is our basic Sankyo. But now I want to make it even less, because I like to say less is more. Here's more. I'm going to put more in there. What are you going to do? You're going to fight me, right? Now what? That is. I'm doing less and less and less. And he says, I don't know why I'm going down. It's just painful. So how can we do less? Well, it sounds like a ridiculous thing to aspire to. I want to do less. You don't want to do it more with your center and less with your strength. So what I'm going to do is do what I call a Sankyo-less Sankyo. Sankyo-less Sankyo. How do you get Sankyo-less Sankyo? This is Sankyo right here, so you remove it. That's no longer Sankyo because I'm no longer quite here. Or if I take it all the way off, there's no more Sankyo. So that's definitely a Sankyo-less Sankyo. Or I can use this help as this comes parallel, and I lower. But again, do you feel much pain?
No.
You can't feel pain. That means he's not going to resist, right? When he feels pain, he's going to fight you. So the two Sankyo-less Sankyos is you just take this hand off. Now you can't do it behind him here. Come ahead and lower it smoothly. Smooth it down. Or you could just use this side too. Just down. You see, again, I'm not using Sankyo, but it's best to use two hands. So what I'm going to do is level this out, come back up. Nothing. So try those, because that'll make your Sankyo work better if you can do it without Sankyo. Because that's the ultimate less is more, right? But let me just point out to you that that Sankyo that we just did, like this, should look a lot like Ikkyo. Sankyo and Ikkyo are very related. The same movement, except with Ikkyo. So here I got Sankyo grip, or taking it off. Here is Ikkyo. It's the same darn thing. It's just a slightly different grip. Sankyo, though, is anytime we have a Sankyo grip. Now let's go back here. And, a lot of people want to put the palm to the mat. But if I'm out here, you can short circuit this. There's a circle going back. It doesn't work. if I take my own arm and do this, very solid the shoulder. But as I move this arm so that the pinky gets, this is, right, as his, he's solid, solid, solid. Oh, look what happened to his posture. Right? So, there is a Sankyo that you can put your palm down on the ground with. His palm is. But it can't be out here, because that just makes him solid. So I line it up and cut it down. And I sometimes call that the elevator drop Sankyo, because it just drops straight down in front of him. Okay? Now this is often really well done from Katate Kosodori Shiromowari. So he's coming around, right? You just come up and you place his palm down right here. So that's a good way to practice it. So after you start out with just a grip here, don't try to move forward with it. Don't let it come behind you though. It's right here, down, up. And then go ahead and do the Ushiro Mowari version. 1, 2. By the way, once you bring it down, don't leave it down, because now he's going to come back up. Right? You should get, roll this way. Yeah. Roll that way. Oh, you can't. I bring it back up. And Sankyo is on. Okay? Shall we try that? Okay. So, here we are doing Sankyo, and we're going down the elevator, but the elevator's clogged or something. It won't work. It's maybe a broken elevator. So we switch. So we send it up and then down. It's sort of like going, no, resistance. So I follow it up, then I'm going to send this elbow down, re-grip my hand, otherwise I can't do that. Do not keep holding on. So this is called the broken elevator technique, because the elevator won't go down. So we pop out the top and now most people who see Sankyo on the most styles or on the internet, they're told, well, you crank this puppy up, get him up on his toes, right? If he's up on his toes, he can kick me in the knee. Yeah. So I'm not really thrilled about the cranking up. Kobayashi Sensei told us, don't do that. Now I should be able to go back, but keep it down. We're going back. If he tries to kick, I'll keep it down. Down's my friend. We do not, you see, to load it up like that means that I've heard, oh, you do this to break his balance. Let's get back up. You do this to break his balance. That's all you do. You don't have to give him a jolt of pain, give him a chance to kick you. But you should be able to move. This is a control. So keep it close to you, move forward this way, move back this way, this way. I want you to be able to control your partner. Bring them down to the mat. You could even, if you're patient, bring them up, but don't, not too far. Right? And then if you see a nice space, another classic way to take someone down is omote and ura. Omote is you're in front, and ura you're in the back. Now I'll show you my way of explaining omote and ura, and it's very consistent with what we're doing. So sometimes, there's this up and down, and then I'm going to fly in front and omote. But what did we do to get him down here? We came out this way, right on this diagram. So that's exactly what I'm going to do on omote. I'm just going to get in front of him and look at him. Look at it. So I'm going to face this way. Notice, I'm going to put this right here. It's going down in the same level. Same thing's happening, except now I get the power of my hips. Now, of course, you can roll his elbow down. That's fine. If you do it, if it's not a really good down. So maybe I kind of mess up. If I roll, don't push this elbow down. It rolls, and remember, this should not be behind his shoulder. It should be in front. As soon as that happens, the shoulder collapses. So that's omote. It's a really good art if, say, I wonder what's behind you. Okay, it's fine. So I get to look behind me. Shall we try that? So now that was omote, that's in front. Ura is behind. So I start to go behind, and then I follow this elbow and send the elbow down. Still have Sankyo, but I'm really sending it through his elbow. Once it gets here, I'm going to tip this up and tip the elbow down. Let me see where you can best see. So I'm coming here, and then here. And I still have, the Sankyo pin is on. Yeah, there's other Sankyo pins you can go down on your knees, but hey, it's on right now. Ura is behind. Omote, I get in front of him. Ura, I stay behind and then work the elbow down. So now let me wrap up some things on Sankyo. What you never want to have happen on Sankyo, here you got me, is for me to get ahead of him. Because then I can do stuff to him. That's the nice stuff. You know, the bad stuff is here. So what do you do if he gets ahead of you? Well, then you could get behind him. You shouldn't let it happen. But if he does get ahead of me, then I get behind, get this cross shoulder, send the energy down his elbow, and then make sure he's flat onto his stomach. Right? That's number one. Number two, I could do Ura that we just did. So I'm right here, I just do Ura. But number three I like best of all. Number three, if he gets ahead of me, it's more effective, yes. Then I just turn this way. Now, in this rosy scenario, he's behind me, isn't he? That's all I have to do is put my body in there. We do that all the time, like, say, Shonan-uchi, you know. This is how we do it. We just get back to back and walk. So that's a solution to a problem where he gets ahead of me. Whoops, now he's behind. Sankyo should still work. In conclusion, when you work on your Sankyo variations, right, in order to hold lightly, send the ki through the shoulder, do not create a reaction in your opponent or your attacker, and be able to flexibly move. Hey, this isn't working, I can reverse it, I can do this. You can look behind me. I got behind him, or I can come behind him. All those are fine as long as you keep the notion of oneness. Oneness is what makes Sankyo work. Okay.